Hello, and thank you for joining us today to prepare for virtual RLS Advocacy Week. Today, we are focusing on advocacy and ensuring that all advocates have the tools and answers they need to successfully contact Congress. With us today is the RLS Foundation's Washington Representative, Philip Goglis II. Thanks for being with us today, Phil.
Thanks for having me, Clara. It's good to be here.
Let's dive into the questions. So, why is it so important to connect to your local office?
It's important to connect with your local office because it allows you to establish that key relationship that you have with both your House member and your two senators. For many of you who have participated in advocacy before, you know the role that I play for the foundation here in Washington. But for those of you who don't, I serve as the primary point person here in Washington on behalf of the foundation and the community, engaging with members of Congress and federal agencies. I could go to every single House office, which there are 435 of, and every single Senate office, which there are 100 of, and talk about the importance of supporting key priorities for our community. The one question that everybody will ask is, does this affect my district or does this affect my state? And who in my district or state is affected by this? So it's critically important for you to connect with your local office, to establish that relationship, to remind them about the importance of supporting key priorities for the restless leg syndrome community because of how it affects you locally in their district and in their state.
Awesome. That's a great point. Does reaching out to my representative actually make a difference?
It does. As I mentioned, I could go into every single office and, I live, eat, and breathe policy on a daily basis here in DC, and I could go in and speak with them and talk about the importance of NIH funding or the importance of increased research across different federal agencies. What really makes a difference is hearing from you. So I can't do my job successfully here if it isn't for the work that all of you do, throughout the year in engaging with your local offices, with your members, and lending your voice to the community and to the importance of supporting these priorities. So you guys are the true, rock stars, are the true VIPs. I work through some of the technical side of it, but it's really important to have that local perspective and that constituent presence in terms of engaging with offices locally and then following up here in DC.
Awesome. So when we're reaching out to our representative, do you recommend reaching out via phone, email, or snail mail?
So I would recommend all of the above. It's really what you're most comfortable with. I know a lot of people are happy to send off an email, but also understand that, it may take a little time for you to receive a response because of all of the items that are happening in Congress and staffers' time and covering all of those. So I know some people who prefer to send off an email and establish a relationship that way. I know some folks like to have that in person or that conversation. So, they like to make phone calls so that way they hear somebody on the other line and can walk them through that and develop the relationship that way. And some people still prefer the old-fashioned handwritten note and, putting it in the mailbox and getting it delivered to your office. So it's really what you're most comfortable with. The most important thing in any of the advocacy that you do is just sharing your story. How has RLS affected you? How has RLS affected a loved one? How has RLS changed your life? And why is it important that your member supports priorities that makes the lives of our patients better because of the experiences that you've had? So any way in which you're comfortable engaging with a member of Congress, we fully support that. And there are many different ways to do that. So whatever is the most comfortable for you, every little bit does make a difference and every little bit does count.
Awesome. Well, thank you for taking your time to share with us this important information about how to reach out to our local representatives and why it's so important. You can watch more of our advocacy videos on our website underneath the Get Involved tab. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Clara, and thank you all for your continued work.